Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome to Market Recap. I am Dan Hodgman. It is Tuesday, June 15th. We are halfway through the month. I hope you guys all had a great day. Looks like Tanya had herself a spectacular day here. Couldn't be more excited for you on that one, Tanya. And I like seeing that you say, you should probably take tomorrow off. I'd expect that now. You made the comment now. No reason to show up tomorrow, especially with tomorrow being FOMC. That's the talk of the town. What are they going to talk about? Tapering assets, talk about inflation. There's a lot on the table that they can talk about. They're buying a lot of mortgages right now. There's a lot to keep in mind when that comes into play. So tomorrow is FOMC. I will say that now, and I'll continue to say it again and again here today. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. Not so much on possibilities of rate changes. We're all pretty sure that that's not getting touched. They may be moving it up from 2024 up to 2023 when they expect to see some rate changes. But there's going to be a lot of talk on inflation. There's going to be a lot of talk on their assets, asset purchasing. Right now, they're buying about $120 billion a month. It's definitely a big change that may be coming with that. We're seeing equities sell off here a little bit today. You got NASDAQ really on the tear to the downside, but when I say tear, it's not a huge tear. It's comparative, right? S&Ps, we broke off the open, but that's gotten a nice little afternoon bounce for it there. But then you got crude oil. I don't even know what to say. Crude oil settled yesterday at $70.88. Today, right now, we're trading up at $72.25. I can feel my wallet tightening, my driving, minimizing, just for the mere fact that gas prices are going to absolutely follow this crude oil market. Perks of being a trader, we can take advantage of that directional move either way and help us kind of cover maybe some of that gas bill. Gold opened up this morning and floating right around settlement price. Finally, that market took the dip as well. You had Euro opened up essentially at settlement price. When I'm going to say open here, I'm going to talk kind of right after John was finished speaking. This market, since John finished the market forecast this morning, got really quiet. And lastly, the 10-year note, really not much to say. It broke down to settlement price and then 2 ticks up, 2 ticks down. Not much of a range there whatsoever. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. Right now, rent for single-family homes just saw its largest gain in nearly 15 years. So huge uptick in the rental market. Something we want to think about, right? Costs of goods and services across the board are increasing. How are they going to come back? Are they going to lower at some point? Time will tell, right? Definitely going to be important to keep paying attention to that. And then the other one that's kind of interesting that's got my attention, actually, I had a friend of mine reach out to me today. He's flying Southwest, and he was next in line, and then the computer's system crashed again, stranding multiple people around Southwest for the second day in a row. So Southwest continuing to take a little bit of a little heat there. Is it going to send that stock back down after it made it through all of 2020? It's going to be an interesting question we all got to ask. All right, so those are the things we've got going on here right now. Just make sure I said hello to everyone. Bill, good to see you. Ednelson, good afternoon. Alan, what's happening? Jerry is awake. Glad to see you're awake there, Jerry. Definitely not trading FOMC. Good call there, Tanya. Thanks for putting Market Therapy up on YouTube. Absolutely, Norman. Make sure you guys are tuning in that every month. And Greg, good to see you as well. And everyone, shout out to Tanya there. Always love to see everyone having positive, good trading days. That's what we're all here for, right? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these charts here and see what we had going on here today. As always, we're going to start with crude oil. And like we said, crude oil opened up, and its initial move was lower. But here's where we're paying attention. Here's what's got our eye. It tried multiple times after the open to accept inside yesterday's value area. Could not accept inside. Therefore, price must go the other direction. We had more buyers coming in and continuing to bid this market higher. There is no question about that. Yesterday, we had our first little bit of a steady sell-off in some time. We're maintaining really nice trend to the upside. So our job as traders, right? They always say trend is your friend. we're looking for those weak points in an uptrending market. We're looking for weakness to present buying opportunity. And that's exactly what we had here. We opened up. We tried lower. We tried. It continuously failed. Buyers overpowered and took this market higher. So to me, what am I looking at here? Well, I'm going to be really hesitant off this open to get in on that volatility. I need to look for areas that I can help manage my risk. And like you guys know, moving averages, weighted moving average here, 20 period, VWAP is my go-to weighted average price. This market came right down to that 20 period weighted moving average. And that to me is our sign. We have checked it. It rejected it pretty quickly. Here's our chance to go ahead and get long and see if we can run this market higher. Yeah, maybe we missed that overnight move, but we are looking for pieces of directional moves, not the entire thing. We showed weakness. Weakness failed. Sellers could not overpower the buyers and send this thing lower down, maybe towards yesterday's point of control. Could not get there. Rallies higher. Now, if we see this thing start to break, we have unchecked point of control down here. Regular trading hour unchecked point of control, 71.48. Keep your eyes on that price as we move forward. Next, let's look at the S&P 500. This market opened up right at settlement price and gave up all of yesterday's gains that we saw in the afternoon, right? We had that big pop in the afternoon. We gave every bit of that up and right down to, you guessed it, point of control from yesterday. And this one attempted to grind higher. Really, where we saw the grind, we checked point of control, but we never accepted. Funny how that works. We never accepted inside yesterday's value area. Could not get that acceptance. We're showing that. It's proving that. Therefore, it's our turn to sit here and look for long opportunity in what is overall a trending higher market. Yeah, we're still starting to fall into a little bit of a pattern. But that's the key that we're looking at here. Did not accept into yesterday's value area. Therefore, look to bring in more buyers and see if we can bid this market up just slightly. And we bid it right up to, funny how that works, 20 period moving average. And I have a bunch of different ones. Find one that works for you. Find one that you like to pay attention to. Use those moving averages. They present great opportunities to and from. All right, next, let's go ahead and look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ was in a steady trend all day long to the downside. This is simple trade, right? We talk about it a lot. You want to get in on a trending trade. You got to find those strength points. What I loved, we came down right to, amazing how that happens. We fell right to yesterday's point of control. That's 3 markets in a row, or excuse me, 2 of the last 3 markets. We have seen price move right to point of control. Areas for us to be paying attention to. Now, I run a 10% rule. If I get within 10% of where my profit or where that target is, that's what I'm willing to back off. So if I'm looking, we're just going to use simple terms here. If I'm looking to make, let's just say make $1,000, I'm willing to cut that 1,000 when I get closer to 900. I'm willing to take that little bit of a loss of potential profit to ensure I'm getting my win on that trade. I think if you have some sort of guideline around that, that can really help you out as a trader. And that's really it. We're looking for the strength. We had some nice strength come in right around lunchtime here to then continue in our directional move off the open. The question really would have been, am I taking the short from settlement price? We're going to check settlement price. Am I going to take that short and see if I can see this market rotate lower? That was another great trade. You catch the short off the open. Where's our target? Well, to me, target would have been right here at yesterday's value area high on that trade, 14,057. That would have been my target. I would have locked in those profits and moved on. And maybe you're finding more opportunity throughout the day. You don't need to take 100 trades. Maybe 1, 2, 3 trades, and you can have a really successful day in some of these markets. Next, let's go ahead and look at the gold. Like we said, gold opened up this morning and just kind of floated all around settlement price. Up, down, up, down. Overnight session was all around settlement price. Finally, settlement gave out and the bottom fell loose. And we made it almost to, not quite, but we got pretty damn close to yesterday's value area low right here at 1852.30, 1852 even. We're going to start to see potential changes in this marketplace as well tomorrow, depending on what the Fed says, depending on this idea of inflation, right? Inflation is relatively high. It's been that common conversation for the last 20 years. And now we're really starting to see some data. We're starting to see some things that are saying potential for inflation. We saw 10-year yields dip to 1.4 the other day. You're seeing gold start to sell off. So we've also got the euro here. Had itself an interesting opened up this morning and rallied right up to settlement price, through settlement price. And here's what I found interesting. We stayed. Once we got into yesterday's value area, once we got inside of it, we traded the high and low of yesterday's value area extremely nice, right? Once we accept in those areas, that's when we can start to trade that idea of range. We can fade the extremes. We can sell the high. We can buy the lows. And it's not always a perfect science, right? But paying attention to how the market's reacting at specific prices, looking for an opportunity, we all know the probability states if I'm trading inside, I continue to trade inside. I'm not looking for the breakout or the rally or the upside move or the downside move. We know probability states we're going to have a better chance staying inside versus trading out. And then lastly, we'll take a quick glance at this 10-year note. Again, not a whole lot to say. The notes opened this morning. We rallied right to yesterday's value area high, rotated right back over to settlement price. And then, like I said, 2 ticks up. We had 2 points where we checked down below 3 ticks, but really 2 ticks up, 2 ticks down. Extremely tight range here. Not a lot of us to trade. Not a lot of opportunity for us to trade there. So those are our markets here today. Like I said, a lot of opportunity. Tanya, it sounds like you were able to find some of that, which is what I love to hear. Hopefully it's some of the stuff that we've been able to help with. That's always my goal. You're looking at these levels. I think it's so important to keep things simple, right? Consistent lens, consistent view, consistent levels that we talk about. That's what I really try and do here. I try and point out every day how the market reacts around value areas, so we're all seeing it and we can continue to pay attention to that as day by day goes. Points of control, settlement price, overnight highs and lows, prior day high and low, prior week high and low. Those are areas we want to constantly be seeing if there's an opportunity. It doesn't mean every time it approaches it's going to pay us. It's not the case, but if we can continue to watch and start to recognize when those opportunities are presenting, we might be able to lock in some pretty solid profits. So, like I said, yields the other day dipped on the 10-year note down to 1.4. Right now, that's 1.497. Not much to report on change on the yields. And then you got the 30-year 2.19. Now, if I go back about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when I really started heavily trading the yield spreads, we were seeing that 30-year was well over 3%. That 10-year, well over 2.5%. So we're starting to see the change. We're starting to show these lower yields. Going to find people hard-pressed to buy the 10-year treasury if it's only yielding 1.4%. So this could lead to some interesting things happening. We're going to pay attention to that stuff as we move forward. Speaking of things that we like to look at, VIX 17 floated right around that 17 mark today, dipped a little lower, dipped a little above. Right now we're ending at 17.10. And then before we get to our meme stocks here, let's make sure we take a quick glance at our big buys and sells, starting with, whoops, wrong one there. I do this every time. I always minimize my Bitcoin and I forget to pull it back up. All right, Bitcoin. A little bit of a volatile day, rallied up to 41,500, broke back down. Going to end the day here relatively unchanged, 39,800 there on Bitcoin. And then we've got our Airbnb stock. We got a couple bucks in this one, almost $4, $51.78 over there. All right, now let's take a look at the memes. We haven't talked about this one in a little bit, so I'm taking a quick glance at the Dogecoin, 31 cents. Amazing how that one works. 31 cents for Dogecoin. Feels like just a couple weeks ago, everyone was saying to the moon, to the moon. I think checked 72 cents. I'm curious how many people are still in up at 72 cents right now. Hopefully they didn't spend their entire savings on it. But yeah, we're starting to see that one dip. We've also got our AMC stock. AMC right now trading $59.04. Quite the strong stock. Market cap $29.6 billion with a B, billion dollars. GameStop, this one's just quite an interesting one. GameStop trading $222.50. Market cap on that one is $16.5 billion. And then our last one, Tesla. Tesla trading right around $600 right now. Opened up much higher. We're down 3% on the day, or about $18 on the day. All right. Lastly, we'll take a look at this date in history and get the heck on out of here. Not a ton, but we're getting pretty darn close to U.S. independence, 4th of July. So we do have a couple things that relate to that one. So the first one I'm going to touch on, where did it go? 1775, George Washington was assigned to lead the Continental Army. And then in 1776, Delaware, which was originally the lower counties of Pennsylvania, declared itself independent of British and Pennsylvanian authority, creating the state of Delaware just a few weeks before 4th of July. And then one last one, which I just find interesting, 1846, the U.S. and Canadian border was established as representatives of Great Britain and the United States signed the Oregon Treaty. So that's how we got our border with Canada and the U.S. So on that note, guys, that's what I have here today. Thanks for tuning in. I do see some quick questions here. I want to make sure I answer them. Let's see. Did anyone see copper's move to the downside last night? I did well. Nice job, Norman. I did not see that one. Copper's not usually one I pay too close attention to. The real one last week, tech was stronger than SPY. Today, SPY getting stronger than tech. Can't wait to see tomorrow's event. That makes two of us, the real, and I'm excited about it. And then lastly, Greg, Dan, are you day trading these meme stocks or multi-day swing or not really trade them? Greg, no, I'm not trading any of these. I purchased some a little bit here and there, but not even trading. More or less buying and holding, seeing if there's something going to happen, doing a little option against it, kind of covering myself in a slight way. Did a little GameStop a while back, not touching AMC, not touching Wendy's. Dogecoin, I've bought a little bit, just sitting on it. Nothing crazy, nothing that I'm going to make my retirement or lose everything on. Just thought it'd be fun to have a little bit. So I'm not too active in any of this meme stuff. I'm maybe in the millennial years, but I think I'm not as spun up on a lot of this stuff as some of these millennial guys. I think from too much of a trader, historical trader perspective. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and sign on out of here. It is Tuesday, FOMC tomorrow. Reminding you guys once again, FOMC tomorrow. Don't be afraid to take the day off. It's not a bad day to sit on out. Sit on your hands, go and play a little golf, get out, enjoy some sun, go work in the yard, go do something. Maybe take the day off tomorrow. So don't feel like you have to trade. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. John will be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Time with the market forecast. So until then, stay safe, wash your hands, trade smart, and trade well. I look forward to seeing you guys in the markets. Take care, everybody.